Hi everyone, welcome to this session where I'll be explaining how to extract data from a website where the files on the website are lots of CSV files that we will be combining into a single file in Power BI. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get the link to this location. And just a quick one, this is one of the data sources I have used for the COVID-19 dashboard. And this is the GitHub repository of Johns Hopkins Hospital in the United States. Okay, so this is the link. I will be putting this link in the comment section below, so you could always get this link there as well. So I will copy this link and go into Power BI. Okay, so when you open your Power BI file, this is the first page you would see in Power BI. But to go into the query editor, which is where we will be transforming and cleaning the data, you click on transform data, and that takes you to the query editor. And we go to get the data from the web by putting the website link into the web data source. Click that and paste the URL in here. Click OK. So that goes to the website to pull down the data in here. So that will give us a quick preview of what we saw on the website here. Cool. So we will select files. That's the one with the file names. These are the file names, and these are the files we want to combine into a single file. Great. Click OK. Now we have our data in Power BI, but these are just the file names. We've not done the extraction of each of the files because each of these files have data within them, and that's what we're interested in, combining all that into a single file. So the first thing we want to do here is tidy up this table. All we need here is the name of the file. So I'm interested in just this column. I will then be deleting all the other columns by clicking on this column and click remove other columns. Okay, and make the first row promoted to a row header. Click that. Also, I want to filter out anything that's not dates.csv. So like this will be filtered out and the other ones. So you click the arrow down, uncheck, uncheck, scroll down, uncheck, uncheck, and click OK. So that should give us just the CSV files. Lovely. So now we have a table that has the names of all the files that we will be loading into a single table. Also, note that if this changes, if we have a new date come through and we refresh this, this would automatically bring in the new CSV file. And that is why this is very useful, because then it gets you any latest CSV file that's added to the website automatically by just refreshing this. Okay, the next thing we want to do is go back to the website and get one of the files, transform and clean it up and use it as a sample file to then be replicated for the other files, which would then be combined into one single file. Okay, so let's go back to the website. We click on the first file, it's our sample file, and to extract this, to get the link of this to be used within Power BI, you click on raw, and that gives you that CSV link which you're looking for. So copy. This would also be put in the comment section for you. And the same thing, we go to news source, we go to web, paste the file there. That's the sample file. Click OK. Lovely. So that's a preview of what the data looks like. So we have the state, the country, last updated, confirmed death recoveries here. So this is the data I have in each file. OK. So click OK. So that'll be loading that into the model. Lovely. So what I want to do is clean up this data, transform it, and then reuse it for all the other files here. So let's get to that. The first thing I want to do here is combine this country and the state column into a new field. To do that, we go to Add Column, Custom Column, and select the state. And combine that using an ampersand, put a comma, inverted comma, and an ampersand with the country. So we have the state, comma, the country. Click OK, and we should have that. Okay. We may want to put in the space in there. Let's put a space. Okay. Lovely. Sorry, just space after, not the other way. Cool. So now something is happening here where we have the comma and the country, and that's because those rows do not have state in there. So to cater for this exception, we need to go back to our custom query and modify that to look for the exceptions where there are no data in the state column. So if there is no data, just give me only the country. But if there's data in the states, then do the combination. And to do that, we use an if statement. Just use this statement. Okay, so that's checking for the length of the state. If there's nothing in there, then use only the country. But if there's something in there else, then combine the state and the country. And yeah, that should give us, let's move that there. Cool. That should give us this. And we could also trim this for any blanks around the string by going to Add Column, Transform, Format, and Trim. Okay, we want to change the column name to state/country. Okay, lovely. So we have a new field in there. The next thing we want to do is tidy up this date field here. So what's happening here is we have the date and the time the extract was updated. And this is useful information when we append all the other CSV files. We want to know the last time it was refreshed. Very useful information. So what we want to do here is, this is text, but we want to convert this to date and time. Now, if we try to just use the normal conversion, click on it, go to date time, we would have an error because it's not in the format that Power BI understands to convert to date time. Just remove that. So what we want to do is convert this into a proper format, which which looks like this. So this is the format we want. We want that format. All right. Lovely. Okay, let's come out of there. So that's the format we want. So how do we get to that format? The first thing we want to do is split this column by the delimiter. The delimiter here is the front slash, right? So that would be splitting it into 3 columns. So let's get to that. So you click on Transform, Split Column by Delimiter. it suggests status. Yeah, that's the custom delimiter, the front slash for every occurrence. Say OK. That splits that. Note, we do not want this converting, because when it does the split, then Power BI tries to suggest a data type. No, we don't want that. So we delete that. Takes that back to text. That's what I want. And then we split this again, because that's the year and the time. So we want to split that as well. We go to transform, split column, and by delimiter, this time around space. Okay, click OK, and that splits. Lovely. Now we want to change this column headers. So this is the month field. This is the day. This is the year. And this is the time. Again, we don't want this converted to numbers. So note, I've clicked on the chain type. I'm just removing where it's saying, you know, convert that to numbers. No, we don't want that. So we remove that. Okay, so that's back to text. That's how we want it. Okay, lovely. Cool. So now we want to combine this in the right format that Power BI will be able to convert to date and time. So we need a new column that will combine this as year, month, day, T as a prefix, and then the time. So to get that, we create a new column, add column, custom column. Okay. And we call that date, time, text. Okay. Cool. So paste that. So what we're doing here is fairly straightforward. We're having 3 different scenarios where the year could be represented as just 2 strings. And if it has just 2 strings, then appended or had a prefix of 20, and the other part of the year. And where it's just 4, which is 2020, then combine the year. Now here we are changing the year because that's number. We're changing that to a text because it has to be text for this function to interpret it correctly. So we're converting the year from a number to text. So we're using text.from. We're combining that with the hyphen and also the month as well, combining that to the day, adding a prefix of T and combining that with the time, right? So this is one of the scenarios. The other scenario is where the year is, say, just 2 length. So it's just 20. And we're saying we want to have the full 4-string length of year, which is 2020 or 2021, whatever the other part is. So I'm just prefixing that with 20. And the same rule applies. And this is the last exception where we're saying if the date comes in the existing format that we already want, which has this format of the year, the month, and the T prefix with the time, then just bring in the whole date field just as it is from the original data. Okay, so that's how that's all converted. This is how Power BI can convert this into a date field. Lovely. So now we can convert this to date time, and that will, fantastic. So that's it, that works. Cool. And we could change that to date time dated. Now we have our transformation. We need to tidy this up, remove fields that we do not need. So let's just remove these ones. So that's the month. Remove that to the time. And then all the others are fine. We want all the others. So we leave all the others. And now we have our transformation already to be replicated across all the other files. But in order to do that replication, we need to convert this into a function that is then reusable across different row sets. Okay, so how do we do that? We right click, go into advanced editor, and all we're trying to do here is change this to a variable so that as the file name changes, this gets changed and this rule gets applied for the respective file names. So to bring in a variable of file name, this is the syntax. So that is just a variable. You could use any name here. So I've just decided to use daily extract file name in brackets, very important, with the equal sign and that little arrow there, this greater sign, greater than sign. Okay, so you have that there, very important to convert this into a function, and then changing this bit to the variable name. So we grab the variable name and replace it here. But then this will work because it just assumes it's a file name. So we need to let Power BI understand that's a variable. To do that, we need to put an inverted comma there, an ampersand sign, ampersand sign, and then two inverted commas. And now it sees that as a variable. We click done. That will convert that to a variable, but then we need to change the name from that file name to something more user-friendly. Okay, so that we say fs gets daily feed, enter. So that's our new function that will be replicated. And we could test this quickly. So we go into the table that has all the file names and just grab any of the files in there. Let's grab that one. Come here, place it in the parameter and invoke. So that gives us our table. No errors, all green, good, lovely. So you can delete that one. And now invoke this function across all these file names. So to do that, you go to add column, you go to invoke custom function. We leave that new column name as is because it's a whole table that's coming through. So we click on our function, click on the parameter that the function will be using to feed in the transformation. In this case, it's the name, that's the only column there, and that's what we need. We just want the name of the file as a variable. And that should then give us a list of all the tables for all the files. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay, so lovely. And then expand this. Okay, we want all the fields coming through. We click OK, and that's all our data in there. Lovely, no errors. Fantastic. So that's showing green to say there are no errors. Lovely. Cool. No errors, no errors. Lovely. So yeah, that's all combined now. I mean, if we just clicked on this name, we then see all the names of the files. Could expand that a bit more. Yeah, yeah. Might not be able to pull all that through, but yeah, that's all the names of the file there. And that's it, all combined. Lovely. And this should just then be fresh when we have new files come through. Thank you. So yes, you can see you'd have the links to the files, the GitHub repository in the section below. Thank you.